Banana slam jam.
So what we talked about in our previous video was how to CS properly, getting those last hits. So real quickly, we're going to show you me doing it correctly in this example and exactly what happens if you follow me verbatim from last video. So we're going to go ahead and show you real quick how to make a lobby again, just in case you guys skipped the last video. Create lobby, make sure the settings have a name, enable cheats, all pick, no bots, join a slot, start game. And we're going to load with PA once again. So this video is going to be building upon what happens when you do the last video and showing you how to apply it in your real games. So, I'm going to buy our items. We're going to start the game. And teleport.
My list has 5 names.
Prepare for battle.
In my previous video talked about CSing for 3 creep waves. Learning how to last hit for the first 3 creep waves. Utilizing the A stop A mechanic. However, if you only learn how to attack enemies, you're going to run into some trouble when you get into a real game. We're going to show you and briefly explain to you what happens when you do that and what you can do about it as a newer player. So, I'm going to let the creeps meet. We're going to identify which creep's going to die next, and then I'll just demonstrate what I would like you guys to do from the last video if you haven't already accomplished it. They stop A. A stop. A. A stop. Oh, it looks like this one's actually gonna die first. A stop. A. Missed that one. A. A stop. Okay. It's a great way to practice your camera control as well. You want to make sure your hero is always centered in the middle of the creep wave. And notice what's exactly happening here. Told you to go to the 3rd creep wave in your previous video because of exactly what you're seeing. Where suddenly, the lane's not where we started. The lane is all the way up here. So let's talk about the basics of why this can cripple you a little bit. So first and foremost, notice how many creeps I'm accruing. I all of a sudden have 6 creeps here. And now the lane is really far away from my tower. So what happens if you only hit last hits on the enemy creeps, you're going to shove the lane, which means that the lane is going to move forward towards the opponent's side of the map. Now, if you're newer to the game, you may think that that's a good thing. However, in the early game, we are not trying to take any buildings. We're not trying to invade the opponent's base. We're trying to get as much experience and gold as possible for at least the first 5 to 10 minutes. That's pretty much our only concern. So, TLDR, towers give little bonuses. Towers also attack enemies. So towers serve as a way to protect yourself. So the closer the creeps are to your tower, the safer you are. Because if the creep wave is right here and you're ever underneath the tower, you're getting extra armor as well as regen, and the opponent can't kill you when you eventually face against an opponent. So this is going to introduce to you denies and the idea of managing lane equilibrium. And that's exactly what it's going to take to make sure this doesn't happen. So, let's go ahead and load up a new game and show you guys exactly what we're talking about here. So, play Dota, create, start. Okay. So, in order to prevent the lane from moving from here to all the way up here, one must think about keeping it balanced. So, in order to maintain the balance of the lane, every time you issue an attack on an opponent unit, you must also look to issue an attack on your own unit. Now you may say, BSJ, why would I ever attack my own dudes? Aren't they good guys or whatever? Well, yes, but at the end of the day, these creeps are part of a bigger picture that you are using them for golden experience. So sadly, your creeps provide golden experience to the enemy team. So if you can, you actually want to be the one that kills them. And you can only attack them when they are below half HP. So notice how if I try to attack one of my own creeps when it's below half, my hero will just run and attack something else. However, when my creep is now below half, I can attack it. So we can do the A stop A technique on denies as well. These are called denies. So once this hits half, I can start attacking it. Notice that? So the goal is that if you do get a deny, and the current patch, this changes every now and then, the opponent will never get gold because they are not getting the last hit. but the opponent will also get half the experience. So denies can sometimes be even more important than getting last hits, because not only are you preventing the opponent from getting the gold, but you're also removing some experience from the game that they would otherwise get. So the next step in our evolution, once you feel comfortable getting last hits, is to simply attack your own unit after every last hit. So let's go ahead and load up the lobby again. So the rule you can set for yourself to get in a good habit, but it's not going to last for too long, this is kind of just putting on your training wheels, is that you're going to do the exact same thing I told you to do in the previous video, but after you attack an enemy creep in order to get the last hit, you must attack one of your own creeps at least one time. For the sake of this, just do it one time, and we'll show you exactly what happens. So I'm going to show you exactly what I want you to learn how to do. So we're going to recognize the next creep that's going to die. We're going to A stop. A. So now, before we're allowed to last hit this one, we have to attack this one, which is going to be below half first. A. Okay, now we get to do the A stop. A. Okay. Now we need to attack our own guy first. Okay, that's once. Now we get to A stop A. Now here's a cool moment that we're going to see here. So now we have to bring up the mechanic of creep aggro. We're going to go into way more depth in the later stages, but we're going to talk about what creeps do. So creeps are coded. They're going to attack in a way that's very predictable. So what happens when a creep kills another creep, or whatever target it was attacking dies, it's going to search for a new target. So notice how out of all the targets in the lane right now, my hero is the closest one to this creep. So for now, for the sake of this video, if you ever find yourself getting attacked by an enemy creep, all you have to do is issue an attack on your own unit, and that's basically saying, hey, go attack that guy. So we'll show you that real quick. Notice how I issue an attack, and it stops attacking me. These guys are going to attack me. I can issue an attack. Now, on top of that issuing of an attack, I am not going to change the target of the creep if I'm still closer to that creep than anything else. So not only do I have to issue an attack on my own unit, but I also have to move further away than my own units. So notice how we finally got it to stop attacking us by moving to about right here. So we're going to continue practicing the attack. We're going to get the last hit. And then we're going to have to attack our own dude first. Okay? Then we have to attack our own guy first. So, once you feel confident that you can get every last hit, or at least 10 out of 12, while also fitting in an attack on your own unit, that's going to be the next step. I want you to be able to do this for 3 creep waves. Same thing as the last video, and we'll build upon this even further in our next video.